Welcome back, Sports Underground. Continuing a little bit of Twins talk here before we bust into the Vikings and lockout-related talk. Before the break, talking about things the Twins could do trade-wise to make them better before the end of the season, maybe a little bit of buyer mode. We talked a little about starting pitching. We definitely need some middle relief. And then looking at position players, I look at Nishioka and wonder if those batting titles were fudged over in Japan. Because this guy doesn't look like he can hit at all, and maybe there's something to be done there.
It is troubling, but who are we going to go get? Is Reyes is a guy like Reyes from the Mets, a shortstop? Is that a Twins caliber guy?
Well, we never re-signed him, so
obviously
he's a rent-a-player. Does Reyes get you over the hump? I think he might, if not the best player in baseball, top 3 or 4 when healthy.
That is a home run of an acquisition, absolutely. But
the Mets are looking to fleece you too. I mean, it's going to cost you more than Ben Revere and a player to be named later.
They're not going to give him up easy. So that's almost out of the question. That's the absolute pinnacle. That's the best case scenario. Mm-hmm. As far as pitching goes, I question the caliber of pitcher that we may be able to acquire. Twins history says maybe not the quality of starting pitching is available to us, but we do get somebody that can do the job possibly.
Okay, so you're looking for a guy to do the job, and I know I use Pavano as an example quite a bit here. We get Pavano a couple years ago, he comes in pretty effective. A guy like that, are we already better than that? Is what Scott Baker's doing, what Nick Blackburn's doing, what Dunsing's doing, is that better than or equal to what a Pavano's doing? I think we have 4 of the same guy, and then we have Liriano, who is either way up here or way down here. Is that the guy you move to get someone in the middle like the rest of those guys?
No, but I'm trying to be realistic and see what's in our grasp.
Okay, but
the Twins as an organization,
right,
isn't going to go out there and get a Cliff Lee for the playoff run.
Right,
a Cliff Lee-esque player.
Right. So are we looking at a Fuentes, a Rausch? Maybe a couple middle relievers and probably leaving the starters alone. Is that what you think? Because that's kind of in our history. If we do make moves,
it might be the
best.
It's
the Randy Flores's.
It might be the best case scenario, yeah. And it sure is. Boy, you have to be going back to those players, kicking the dirt and saying, "Geez, we're really sorry. We'd really like you back."
Right. I mean, J.J. Hardy-esque, wondering where that guy is right now.
Yep.
Too bad Trevor Plouffe couldn't field, because the way that guy's hitting right now, he would look pretty good at shortstop, but unfortunately every time he stops the ball, Chuck Knobloch blushes when this guy tries to throw the first. Yeah. That's how bad it is.
Stops with his teeth, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. Yeah. And if you're in the section behind Kadire or Mauer at first base, duck often if Plouffe's over there short. So hopefully the Twins do a little bit of something. The series with Cleveland's a pretty important deal. We lose tonight. If we lose tomorrow, we're all of a sudden 9 back. And now we're kind of starting that fight all over again. But you'd like to think Twins, the way they usually play second half of the year, we always come on. I mean, we've been left for dead more times than I can count. And somehow, it's either game 163, we're always right there. So you'd like to think that one more time we got it back in us again.
Almost uncharted territory for the Twins, though, in the last couple of years, because they're getting pretty close to August to be this far back, I think.
Right.
So
yeah, we usually made our move by All-Star, where you can kind of see it coming.
You can see it coming, but it's not. For every couple wins we rattle off, there's some bad losses in there too. The bad Kansas City losses, the bad Indians losses, the bad losses too.
Yeah, the 2-run homer in the top of the 9th to Kansas City, those are the things that are going to come back and bite you. And you're going to look at that and go, why did we let Metcalf pitch?
Of course, yeah. And then, say we go on a Seattle road trip or something and we drop 3 or 4 to the Mariners, and then go back around and win 3 or 4 against the A's or something like that. That's the kind of year we're having. Whereas we should be winning 3 out of 4 games against both those teams, and things would be in a lot better shape for us.
I agree. So, Twins, I think we're going to see them do something, like you say, probably not spectacular, not our style. And hopefully what they do, the few moves here, are going to help them get to the playoffs. One last question before we move on. So we're going to hear this the next few weeks. Getting Morneau back, getting Kuhl back, getting Span back. It's just like making a trade. How much does that drive you nuts when you hear that?
That is a 10 out of 10. Absolutely. Maybe in this case it makes more sense than not, because it's not just one player we're getting back. It's almost a majority of our lineup, and they're good players.
Right.
So
But you know you're
Yes.
going to hear it. You
I
know,
know.
they're going to beat it into our heads. Every time you listen to Bert, he's going to tell us that 4 times a night, right when he's circling somebody,
Yep.
that getting Morneau back is like trading for an all-star.
Yep. 237 days till his birthday, and you can count on us getting some players back from the disabled list.
Right. So that's probably what's going to happen, and we can talk trade all we want. That's the way the Twins
Yep.
probably would go.
And
And they can spin it that way and say, well, we were kind of at 500. We didn't really know. We had these guys come out. We thought we'd see what we had.
And just keep in mind the type of player that's in the Twins' grasp.
Right.
So tough to really see us making a huge splash out there too.
All right. So enough about the Twins. We've beat that horse dead enough, I think, already.